What up, man?
What up?
Welcome to Casa de Rollins.
Casa de Rollins. Vi hade tänkt vara
you know what? We shouldn't have told them. We
Why?
should ask people to guess where we are.
Oh.
Remember you're talking about the sound nerds?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They might be like, oh, they are at such and such.
Yeah. Låtsas att ni inte vet. Och gissa. Vart är vi nu?
We did some sound checks just now.
Ja, till slut så funkade det. Här funkade det ju perfekt. Jag har försökt soundchecka på ett till ställe vi kan spela in ifrån. Men det funkar inte än. Så vi får se om det blir någonting där.
It must feel good though to know we have access to so many.
Vi kan spela in på 3 olika ställen just nu. 4.
I think we could, because we have here.
Yeah.
We have my studio.
Yeah.
We have your theater,
Yeah.
the big theater.
Yeah.
And then we also have access to Comorron studio.
Oh.
If we need it.
Oh.
I thought about it while I was there. I was like, maybe, but then it's like, might be easy to come.
Kan man göra det?
I think we could.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both friends with Martin. It's like,
Jo, det är sant. Kanske
and
inte
I was
varje
there.
dag. Varje
No.
dag bara.
I'm saying if we're in a bind,
Yeah,
we could just hit him up probably.
probably.
I like how we're assuming.
Assume away.
But as we did our sound check, you pretended to be a pilot.
Och då kom jag på att du har ju varit en radar... vad heter det?
I never did radar live.
Okej, men vad heter det då?
I was air traffic controller.
Ja, just det. Traffic controller. So,
But you use some radar stuff. You learn radar.
Uh-huh.
But then when you work, radar is different. I worked in the tower. So I have like 5 miles of airspace. And all the planes come in and try to land and you talk to them. And radar gives you the planes.
Yeah.
So they funnel them to you. So, hey, you got this guy coming. He's 30 miles out. He's going blah, blah, blah. He wants to land.
5 miles, det är ju inte ens en svensk mil, är det?
It's half of a Swedish mile.
Räcker det?
No. 6 miles is a Swedish mile.
I thought it was 7. 6.77 or something. No? Okay.
Swedish mile is 6 miles.
Okay. Så det är nästan 1 mil.
Yeah.
Men räcker det? Alltså vad händer om det kommer 70 flyg?
You work that shit. You can tell them to hold them.
Okej, men varför?
You've been in a holding pattern before where a pilot is like, oh, we're gonna hold right here, blah, blah, blah. And they start flying in circles.
Nej, inte med mig, för jag har sagt så här, men jag vill att ni landar nu och då landar de direkt.
Well, a lot of times they're kind of on the same schedule, but you can end up in a holding pattern. We've done it to punish somebody. If you're being fucking annoying, I will send you somewhere. You hold there until I bring you back. Hell yeah.
Nej, vad roligt.
It was good to be kind of you're in charge, man. And according to the hierarchy, all the pilots are your superiors. They're your bosses.
Yeah.
But it's my fucking it's my runway.
So you're in the tower and you're like, oh, it's Clyde.
Yeah. Or he's been a dick. Tower, blah, 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 blah. One time somebody called me and was like, I'm in a hurry. I need my clearance. Gotta get out of here. And I was like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? So I read his clearance, all of his information. It tells you like what airports you're gonna go. It's like your routes that you're gonna take.
Yeah.
And the altitudes you're gonna do and all this shit. I read it as fast as a human as possible for me. And so it basically sounded to him like, Roger, this is Tower. You're gonna blah, 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 blah. That's how fast I read it. And he was like, I got the beginning. Can you slow down? Oh, you want me to slow down now, motherfucker?
Du sa ju precis innan rec också att du hade lite Miami mumble innan du började jobba som air traffic.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Så du hade bara kunnat koppla på Miami mumble.
But when I was in training, I didn't realize that I had such a Miami mumble / accent. Southern, it's a southern accent, and they talk fast. And then they mumble. My uncle came on my first podcast as a guest, and we had to like coach him through it. Like our listeners will not understand you if you talk. And I remember my friend, I had talked to him a lot about it, and then my friends who I potted with, they were like, "This is the best we've understood you since you've been here."
Shit.
Because a lot of times they're leaning forward, like, "What'd you say?"
Yeah.
Or I'd tell him, "Oh, he said strip club," and not it sounded like strip club. But he said strip club.
Wow.
But I had that, and they were telling me that I was a lot of people said 80% washout rate. Like, that means you have to find another job.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really low percentage of people pass through.
Yeah.
And so I started, a lot of people start in like this a position where you kind of hand these strips. You ever seen strips on movies? With all the information, there's little strips, flight strips. It has,
Oh, yeah.
There's little strips of information on it.
Okay.
And a lot of people start in training giving the strips, handing the strips. It's like a little secretary here.
Okay,
And it's called data. So you sit, but there was another guy in there. He started with data.
Yeah.
So I had to start with ground.
Ooh.
So the first thing I did is talk to people on the ground. All of the, Roger, we need to taxi. Or Tower, this is such and such. I want to go leave.
Yeah.
So you read them, their thing, the clearance I said, and you send them to the runway, and you talk to the tower, to the local is what it's called, to talk to people in the air.
Yeah.
So you like, I had to start with that. And I'm like, oh, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, if you can't say this right, you're going to flunk out. So I had to start.
Men hur gjorde du då? Alltså så här...
I just enunciated everything. I would like kind of see the words in my head, like as I said, and just like talk. We call it talking white. I just put my white voice on, man. We learn as Black Americans, you learn to what we call code switch. There's a form of it here as well. You talk like you're from Fororten, or you could talk like you're from, you know. So I had to basically code switch every time I talked. I'm like, put my job interview voice on, and fucking go through and like. Roger, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I would talk a little slower.
Yeah.
Roger, Cessna 653, clear taxi to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Taxi and proceed to runway 6. Report to tower upon arrival. So stuff like that.
Och sen stämpla ut, get your mumble on.
Yeah, and get my, and slide my strip down, and then they slide it over to the tower. Yeah, so it was, yeah, so that's how and now I speak, I think I lost my Miami accent.
Ja, förmodligen.
Until I go home.
Det är lite som My, hon är från Falun. Och hennes syster pratar ju så här.
Okay.
Hon är alltså vi var ute på krogen, de var ju dumma i huvudet. Och så skulle ju My ha pratat om hon inte hade gått scenskola. Inte scenskola, men teater.
Okay.
Så hon först flyttade från Falun, flyttade till Skottland, bodde där i typ ett år. Sen skola, teaterröst. Så hon har liksom inget av det kvar.
So it is, man. But now I have this beautiful accent.
Yeah.
This, as they said on Anchorman, I worked on my non-regional dialect.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been saying since then. I have a non-regional dialect that you get to enjoy here on Teach Me Sweden.
Underbart. Va? Tänk vad du ger till folket.
Yeah, man. No, not everybody.
Just
listeners I love.
Yeah.
So LILs, it's time to bring in the ones that we don't love as much. It's time to bring in the fails.
The fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot losers. Let's do it.
Yeah. Det här är Teach Me Sweden. Det här är alltså en historie/humor-podcast där två komiker försöker lära varandra om svensk historia. Jag heter Erik Broström.
And I'm Jonathan Rollins. And in this episode, I'm going to be teaching Erik about a guy who might be a coward.
Kanske. Eller är det bara vår skeva syn 1952? Alltså inte vår skeva syn, utan världens skeva syn på sporten 1952.
Yes, we're talking about an athlete, so stay tuned and find out more.
Now!
Shoot!
That was like a Texan scare.
Yeah, man. I'm back from Texas.
Yeah.
Officially. Our last episode, we didn't have one last week, but the episode before that, we talked about Texas and its connection to Sweden.
Du var i Texas till och med.
Yeah, great idea by you.
Ja, det var kul. Det var svårt att hitta någonting av värde
now we're
i Sverige och Texas, men ändå.
Now we're back to sitting in front of each other.
Exakt.
Feels more natural. It was fun to do that one, but it didn't feel like this.
Det blir ju så här.
Slight delay.
En säger något och så någon typ
step on each other.
Det blir så sjukt. Ja, det blir så konstigt. Jag bara, nu säger han något kul här.
But I think so many people wrote us saying that they loved that episode, and now I feel like we have to do like a delay.
Kära Teach Me Sweden. Det bästa avsnittet på länge. Det var så skönt att ni inte reagerade på varandra på en gång, utan väntade lite.
It helped me translate in my head what John says.
Yeah.
And then I laughed with Erik.
Det är ju fördelen.
Yeah, man. But now we're back to the old school, man.
Yeah.
Live, analog shit.
Underbart. Face to face.
Yeah. I kind of want to get to it. Those of you that are LILs, which is listeners I love.
Yeah.
Those that are not listeners I love can become.
Ja,
Patreon
ni som lyssnar nu
get extra shit.
Eller hur? Ni kan ha lyssnat på extra 10 minuter av mig och Jonathan. Om ni hade varit listeners I love, we love.
Yeah.
Men det är lätt att bli. Patreon.com/teachmesweden.
Yes, and you can be a part of the listeners we love that get extra shit. Like we do sketches for each episode, and when we have the capability, we do video episodes. So just throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Something you can do.
Something you should do.
Help us out, support a little more, and get back. And you get ad-free episodes.
Exakt. Man får något för det. Och jag menar, gratis är gott, men inte för oss.
All right, let's hop into this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited.
All right, Erik.
Yeah.
You may know this about me.
Okay.
We've known each other for a long time now.
I'm
really into sports.
Det är du. Amerikansk fotboll som vi kallar det i Sverige. Till exempel.
Yes, you know I like football.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I like basketball as well. American, the National League, the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a sports guy in general.
Yes.
I'd say.
That's something that splits us up.
Yeah, because you're not sports at all.
Yeah.
If I came in here and you were watching a hockey match and you said that you really love one of the teams that was on the TV, I would then take that on as my team. And I would probably cheer as hard as you for that team. I'm such a sports guy. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, yeah. And you might have to explain some stuff to me if it's a sport I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get the concept of loving your team and going all out for them. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's one of my things that it's just me.
Det är fint.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do that. And I start saying we about the teams.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I hope we win.
Yeah.
This team I just found out about today, I hope we win. And I was thinking about our episodes. And I was kind of shocked that I went this long without highlighting a Swedish athlete. Because they exist.
Det är massor.
Yes. I'm familiar with one of my favorite clothing brands. Here, it's Björn Borg.
Yeah.
And it's a good clothing brand named after a tennis star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Björn Borg.
Yeah.
Who can forget? Well, I wasn't born, but yeah.
I never thought
70s star, yeah.
I never thought to dig into sports history.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Okay.
And we're going to do an athlete.
Yeah.
I know you don't.
I might know, but we don't know.
I consider that a positive thing that you probably don't know shit about the person I'm going to do.
Yeah. I hope I don't.
You don't care in the least bit about sports. And it's not Björn Borg.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be later. Have you heard of Ingemar Johansson?
Ingemar Johansson?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know much about him.
Do you know what he did?
Is he a weightlifter?
I love that you don't know. Okay.
Oh.
Probably is. It's a common name.
Yeah.
But we're going to learn about him. You're going to know a lot about him after this 2 hours of stuff I got to... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. 2 hours worth of Ingemar Johansson. Okay.
Okay. Here, we'll start from the beginning. Ingemar Johansson was born at the maternity hospital on Övre Husargatan in Gothenburg, 1932.
Ooh, old guy.
Yeah, man.
Dead guy, probably.
We'll see.
Okay.
The family, then, they lived at Prinsgatan 7. Their parents, Jens and Ebba, moved that same year. So he was born, we're going to move. They moved to Carl Gustavsgatan, 59 in Landala, which is kind of a neighborhood in Gothenburg.
Okay.
And fun fact, you know that sometimes I go to Gothenburg for a show.
Yeah.
I normally get us a place, Airbnb, on Carl Gustavsgatan.
Oh, really?
Same street.
Shit.
Small world. Ingmar had two brothers named Henry and Rolf.
Rolf. Oh, yeah. I love Rolf.
Rolf.
Yeah.
I know one Rolf.
Who?
It's my wife's uncle's parents. The dad, his name is.
Oh, yeah.
He's married to her aunt, so.
If it's hard with Rolf, you can always say Roffe.
Roffe.
That's always the...
Okay. What a surprise that the nickname is Roffe.
Right?
So creative.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Lars, Lasse, Rolf, Roffe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kalle.
Yeah, Carl
Well
Kalle,
done, everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
So easy.
So Christopher, Stoffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Stoffe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Jonathan. Jonte.
Jonte.
It's like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah. What is it?
What's
yeah.
John? Let's call him John.
Yeah.
Ingmar had the brothers Henry Rolfe, and they were into doing things with their hands. They would help their father, giving each other hand jobs.
Yeah.
They worked with their hands, also known as hand job.
Yeah.
No, they their father was a bricklayer.
I'm a hand worker.
Their father was a bricklayer.
Okay.
And so they were a working class family, all good with their hands. There was a sport the family dabbled in, and that was a sport that we in America call the sweet science.
What?
The sweet science. I knew you wouldn't have known this.
What is that? Sweet science?
The sweet science is a nickname for the sport of boxing.
Is it?
The sweet science.
Oh, then I know Ingemar Johansson. But no, keep going.
Yes, we're gonna keep going.
I know
we're in it now.
Yeah.
We're
now I know the sport. Yeah.
Yes, this
cool.
This is
Awesome.
It's boxing.
Yeah, awesome.
They were into it. And boxing, little fun fact to everybody, again, was my favorite sport growing up.
It was?
Loved boxing. Loved the history of the sport. Loved boxing video games. Wanted to box myself. Knew about the sweet science. Loved defensive fighters. There was like this big rush of good boxers in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Who was it? Were you like a Mike Tyson guy?
I was huge into Mike Tyson, but I wasn't into only heavyweights. Like a little bit later, the smaller guys got more, like it was more competition. So
yeah.
And then HBO was smart, and they had a Saturday night TV show that every night, it was called Boxing After Dark on Saturday nights. And I would just watch all the new fighters. It was so great.
Okay, side note. Om du var tvungen att välja mellan en boxningsmatch eller en MMA-fight, skulle du välja boxning då för att du tycker att det är mer spännande med boxning, eller skulle du välja MMA för att det händer mer?
No, MMA now it's not always a good fight.
Nah, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of times with the wrestling and stuff, the grappling, they all end up on the ground for
that's true.
2 minutes of the round, and then get told to get up and all this shit. I don't know all of the technical stuff.
Get up!
No, sometimes they break them up and make them stand up.
Yeah.
So yeah, they know like people don't want to see this that long.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, boxing, I understand all of the stuff. So I was like, this is exciting to me, this defensive fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have picked boxing back then. Now, if it's a MMA fighter I'm familiar with, then I'll be like, oh shit, I want to see him.
Yeah.
Or her.
Yeah.
So they did dabble in the sweet science.
Yep.
Ingmar's dad had boxed a bit, and both brothers, they dabbled in it. His cousin was a pro boxer named Vette Larsson.
Vette Larsson?
Vette Larsson.
How do you spell Vette? V-E?
V-E-T-T-E.
Okay.
Not wheat.
No, but if it's Vette with A with the dots, then it's like
Vette.
Vette. It's like a fairy tale. It's like a goblin. Vette.
Okay. No, it wasn't a goblin, but he did have a ring name.
Okay.
Like a nickname that
the
you
goblin?
get. Because they called it Iron Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You have, I can't think of any name. Sugar Shane Mosley.
Okay, yeah.
You have Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? These guys have these. Vette was Vette Ring Larsson.
Vette Ring Larsson.
Ring, like, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's be creative, man.
Like he's in the ring.
Watch out! Oh no!
He's not like those other boxers. He's actually in there.
It's him and the other guy. They're the only two boxers that are in the ring right now. That's old Vette.
Here's Vette Ring Larsson and Jimmy Gloves McCloskey.
Exactly. At the age of 12, Ingmar, he saw a match at the Gothenburg Messe. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of like we have the Älvsjö Messe. They have one called Gothenburg Messe, and he got hooked.
Yeah.
Here's a quote. He said, I stood at the top of Messhallen, looked down into the ring, and was amazed that people were so taken. They screamed like crazy, and I didn't understand what it was that engaged them so violently. But the acting caught me. The shouts of the audience connected with the exchanges of blows. Suddenly, it was clear to me I wanted to become one of the figures in the light vault under the lamps. My heart started pounding when I discovered I wanted to be a boxer.
Huh. Yeah.
Right? So then he joined Redbergsleeds Boxing Club in September 1945. It became his only Swedish club. Pretty loyal dude, man.
Han var där hela tiden.
He made his debut at the club championship for juniors in early December 1947. So, 2 years in, he's getting there. It was a no decision exhibition match against a guy named Carl Erik Lövgren. Carl Erik Boots Lövgren. No,
Boots?
No, I don't say his nickname. But it was an exhibition match, which means it didn't count on his record.
Okay.
But he still became club champion. Heavyweight too.
Okay.
So it's big. It was 90 kilo.
Yeah.
In boxing, you start to test your skills against other people your weight. And it's a thing called amateur league. So you just fight. And a lot of times they fight 100 fights. They wear headgear, so you're not getting beat up too bad. And this was time. It was time for him to get into this amateur league so he can get more experience. That's how it goes. His debut in a competitive match as an amateur came at the Gothenburg Junior Championship a year later, 1948, against Uno Jakobsson, who was 7 years older than him.
Oh, I thought it was 7 years old.
A 7-year-old with a mean left hook.
I'm gonna get you.
Watch your balls. Hey, he's 7, man. Once you're 8, you stop hitting balls. Johansson was a boxer with good footwork. He had excellent jab. He was pretty tall too, so he can keep people off with his jab.
Yeah.
But he had a feared knockout punch. His right hand was strong. He knew he could knock people out. He went straight ahead and he clipped, knocking people out. That was his thing. He won on points over Helge Aulason, who we all know. No, it was in the majors in February by a TKO in third round. Boom, knocks the guy out. Then the next day, he beat a guy named Hans Fredriksson. And then in front of a group of 5,000, he knocked out the runner-up from the Swedish Junior Championship.
Shit.
So he's like right away.
Coming
out, kicking ass.
Wow.
And this was in the first round. It just comes out.
Vad med alla? Varenda jävel? Shit. Alla? Dunk.
Yeah, he just knocked, not first round everybody, but the champion, he knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah.
In 1949, he won 11 of his 12 matches. 5 of them were by points and 6 of them were by knockouts. And back then, you fight a lot of rounds too.
Yeah.
So gold points, they were tired of shit.
Yeah.
The loss that came, he had a loss that year. It came against a guy named Bror Andersson.
Yeah.
From Halmstad.
So Bror. Old names.
Bror. And now that sounds like he's from Förorten.
Yeah.
Bror. Yeah. His name is Lasse Bror Andersson. That's way better than Ring.
Yeah.
Vette Ring Larsson.
Vette bara, damn it.
Could have been Bror.
I could have been a contender.
Imagine what it could have been.
I could have been a brother.
And he lost that one by points, so he didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
The year ended with the Swedish Junior Championship after 2 knockout victories against Carl Frank and from Århus on December 9th, and then Lasse Merling 2 days later. So he's just fighting a lot of fights and knocking people out. It's really good. He's a promising amateur fighter.
Yeah.
On February 27th, 1950, Johansson won his first of 3 straight Swedish Heavyweight Championships. He defeated Bengt. You don't know these people, but somebody from Djurgården, he beat him. Boo! Shout out to Djurgården.
Yeah.
The September 29th, he lost on points, and then autumn, a little bit later that fall, he won 3 international victories against an Italian, a Norwegian, and somebody from Denmark.
Och är det fortfarande amateur?
Still amateurs.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that. The way boxing normally goes, you're like a junior. You're like, learning at your little camp. Mm-hmm. Then you start doing amateur fights to try to get some experience, and then you do. The goal is to get up to Olympic level, and then because you fight Olympics as like the best amateur.
Oh, really?
Pros don't fight in the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least in America.
Okay.
Pros don't fight in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So we send our amateurs, and then you get that Olympic medal, hopefully, and then you become pro.
Okej.
That's how it goes. The boxing.
Fast man måste inte vara med i OS.
No. But that's your goal. You're like you're a good amateur fighter. You fight to try to get into the Olympics for your country.
Yeah.
Then you fight in the Olympics for your country, and then you come and be pro. Now the world kind of knows you.
Yeah.
And then that's the goal.
But you can become a pro without doing the Olympics.
Yeah, if you like some people, they'll be like they started in like the Olympics was last year. They got really good in the next 2 years. They're like, I don't want to wait 2 more years to start making money off
right.
this.
Yeah.
Because you start making money when you go pro.
Yeah.
So that is how it's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Johansson, he participated as an amateur in the Olympics in 1952.
Sweet.
He was kicking ass the whole tournament.
So he's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kicking ass the whole tournament. And then he makes it to the final to represent Sweden in the gold medal fight.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And he was going against an American. Ed Sanders.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. And then Swedes are known for many things. Mm-hmm. Well, a few things.
Well,
but one of the main things is conflict avoidance. Yeah. Shyness. Conflict avoidance.
Yeah.
Passive aggressiveness.
Yeah. Love of screen on iPhone.
And loving iPhones too. Johansson, unfortunately, was disqualified from the gold medal match for passive boxing.
Yeah.
And it turned into a major scandal. They were like, what type of boxing are you doing? Go fight the guy.
Yeah.
But he was kind of smart and defensive, and he used his jab and he tried to set you up to lead you to make a bad punch, and then he counter your, you know what I mean? That's how he did. But back then, in 1952, they weren't trying to hear that. They want you to go in there and try to kill that fucking guy.
Men vänta nu. Om inte någon av dem försökte knocka den andra. Alltså, om Ingmar är passiv.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And the other guy is not being confrontive enough, then they're both passive.
They're both passive, yeah.
Yeah.
But Ingmar took the brunt of it, and they disqualified him. They're like, no, you're not trying to.
Shit.
You're not trying to. So,
Får man silver då, om man blir diskad?
Yes, he was supposed to get silver because he was there anyway.
Yeah.
His style of boxing was later, people said, applied by Muhammad Ali.
Whoa.
And it's like, there's a famous fight. I've watched so many boxing matches. You'd probably think I'm a weirdo.
No.
I've seen so much boxing.
No, I've seen Jaws 153 times.
But Muhammad Ali has a famous fight where he invented what was later called the rope-a-dope.
I've heard of the rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope. It's when you like lead somebody, like they use it in pop culture too. Like you lead somebody to think that you're done, but you're not done. You come back and you win. In this fight, he lets George Foreman, one of the hardest hitting boxers of all time, basically punch himself out. Punch until you get too tired to really do anything.
And then he thinks that Muhammad Ali's all but done.
And Ali is making him miss, really, or letting him hit his body, making sure he doesn't get a hard punch on his chin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he knocks out George Foreman.
Yeah.
A fight I saw as a kid, and it like kind of changed my life watching this fight as a kid. Like, oh my God, this guy, Muhammad Ali, is so cool. Smaller than this big brunt. Makes him punch himself out. I think he's gonna get hurt, and then he knocks him out.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Basically, Ali. See, you know, what I mean, this it's the style that Ali used and is heralded now.
Yeah.
But back then, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah. But men, Muhammad Ali, lever han fortfarande?
No, he died not too long ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. But his last 10 years, he was fine, right?
Exactly. He fought way too long.
Yeah.
And took a lot of hits today. Yeah. So we know that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sweden, as a country, criticized Mr. Johansson. Yeah.
Betyder det att kungen fick gå ut och...
Johansson! The Swedish press
were
saying that he was a shame for Sweden.
Yeah.
And that he was forced to leave the match because they were booing him for not being aggressive enough.
Jesus.
And the coach of the national team forbade Johansson from leaving Helsinki, which is where the Olympics were.
Oh, really?
He was like,
Du får inte åka hem!
you have nothing to do at the closing ceremony, and you will never be a part of the Swedish Olympic squad again. He was
Man,
like,
vad
fuck.
fan.
Turned on this guy. Was representing the country. The traditional flagging at the award ceremony was banned, so they didn't raise the Swedish flag. And the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, they banned it, and they said on the grounds of unsportsmanlike conduct in the ring.
Men ta det lugnt.
Both in Finland and Sweden, Ingemar Johansson began to be called Springemark and was accused of being a coward.
Nej.
Yeah, man. So this was his...
And that was like his big moment, his debut.
As an amateur.
Yeah.
He's a young dude, man.
Yeah.
You just said he was 20 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Young guy, just trying to figure things out. Amateur, not even a pro yet. And they want you to go and be more aggressive. And they
Och
call
det är
you a
inte
coward.
direkt så att han blev alltså det var inte typ så här, oh you were traveling with the ball or
Right.
alltså så här, det fanns, vad är det för regel?
Yeah, exactly.
Men du försökte inte slå så mycket.
It's like, where does it say you have to throw 20 punches around?
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
crazy. So he got that checked off his list, and now it was time to go pro. That's the next step.
Yeah.
The logical step, unless you want to go back and be a bricklayer like
Right,
that.
right.
Go pro. So he made his pro debut. And kudos to him for saying, fuck y'all, and going on September 5th, 1952, which is just after the Olympics.
Yeah.
He had an exhibition match against a guy named Olle Tandberg in Bergsjö Folkpark. So it's like not that big of a...
small, yeah. Dragspel. Ring, ring, ding, 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 ding.
The ring girls are
Yeah.
not that hot.
Now the ring girls are just the people that were there.
Can you be a ringer? Hold this
Didn't
card.
even have to be female. At one point it was a dog. Kom och höll upp tredje ronden. Ruff, ruff.
That was the second round.
Yeah.
Three barks next time there, fighter. And then he had his ranked debut, where a real pro fight
Okay.
in his hometown of Gothenburg.
Yeah.
And he fought a French guy named Robert Masson,
Okay.
and he knocked him out in the fourth round.
Yeah.
So the power came with him, man.
Nice.
Then he got a manager named Edvin Alkvist in the fall of 52, and he had a trainer named Niels Blomberg.
Mm-hmm.
Kept them his entire career. It's just like, loyal dude, man.
Han gillar, ja.
And Alkvist had been around him as a junior, and before he was 16 years old, so he really knew him and said he was going to take care of him. Johansson lined up victories, and in 1956, he captured the European Championship title with a 13th round knockout victory over the Italian Franco Cavici.
Oh, sounds like a winner, though.
Yeah, they said Cavici, when he hit him, said, "Oh, yo, yo." No, I'm just playing.
The stereotype.
Oh,
He got knocked out. Mamma mia!
Mamma mia. Before the match, Ingemar Johansson contacted wrestler Rune Skinnskatteberg Jansson.
What?
I don't know how to say
My
it.
grandpa is from Skinnskatteberg.
Oh, really?
So that must be a nickname.
Oh, they need to get better at niggas' names.
Yeah. Like Rune, what's his nickname? The Skinnskatteberger guy. Du vet, Skinnskattebergan för fan.
Like, what do you want your nickname to be? I'm gonna be Jonathan. I just got here, but I'm ready to fight Rollins. Det är bra, det är bra.
No, you
Han
know
har
what you,
kommit precis och är redo att slå oss.
you know what your nickname would be?
What?
The Miami Mumbler.
The Miami Mumblers here.
Yeah. I couldn't hear him, so I got in with my chin. That's where he struck me.
Boom! Man. Got him again. He did the old mumble punch. But the wrestler Rune,
Yeah.
he let Ingo. They called him Ingo. That was his kind of nickname too.
Oh yeah. It rings a bell. Ingo.
Okay.
Yeah.
They let him. He did some strength training through some wrestling, and they said that this was smart against the Italian that he fought. So it worked, and his hard body blows it helped him win that fight.
Okay.
He defended his title in 57 and 58. He even fought the Englishman Henry Cooper, who was, I guess, a good fighter, and Joe Erskine. Never heard of these guys. It's the 1950s.
Yeah.
He fought an American Eddie Machen, who was one of the highest ranked on Ring Magazine's ranking list. I didn't know Ring Magazine was. I used to read Ring Magazine.
Yeah.
And watch the list every week. That's how much I was into boxing because they always say the top boxers.
Yeah.
He fought at Nya Ullevi, a little bit better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Better than the old one.
In front of 53,614 people. And it was a record for Swedish arena sports.
Shit.
I think it still is the record for Swedish sports, yeah.
What? How many was it?
53,614 people.
Sounds like a record, yeah.
I don't know, man. Have you been to the Laugh House?
Oh! That's not a sports event, though.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
We definitely have 54,000.
Yeah, you got the entertainment record.
Johansson won over the Eddie Machin, who was undefeated at the time.
Okay.
And with a first round knockout.
Wow.
He's just knocking motherfuckers out, yeah. And all those people, 53,000, paid their money and watched 2 minutes and 16 seconds of action. Sounds like the Tyson days.
Probably delighted for the win, though.
Yeah.
Vad konstigt det måste vara sen. Alltså, när man går på fotboll så vet man att så här, jag kommer få 90 minuter.
Yeah.
Men det här är verkligen så här, det kan vara, om det är en dålig upplevelse, då kan det ta 90 minuter. Men om det är en bra upplevelse, då är vi härifrån på 5.
Yeah, or you can see like people go at it for like 6 rounds until somebody gets knocked out. That's the best. When like no defense.
Build it up.
Yeah. This isn't going to mean anything to you.
Okay.
But it meant a lot to me.
Okay.
There is a legendary, and I underline the word legendary, fighter named Floyd Patterson.
Okay.
I grew up hearing about him.
I heard of Floyd.
Probably.
Because there's like Floyd versus someone famous. Like there's a reference for a fight. It's like Floyd and blah blah.
Okay. Well, there's other famous fighters named Floyd as well. Floyd Mayweather is like the most famous of this generation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it might have been him, but
okay.
I grew up hearing about Floyd Patterson. I used to fight with him on video games. He was really good.
Okay.
They had like a game called Greatest Heavyweights I used to play all the time, and he had this punch.
What console?
Sega Genesis.
What is that?
Sega Genesis.
Oh, Sega. Okay, yeah.
I was Miami mumbling.
Yeah.
But I used to play the Greatest Heavyweights, and he was on there. He was really hard to beat because he had this punch that they all had a special punch.
Okay.
And his special punch looked like his punch he did to knock people out.
Okay.
Anyway, Muhammad Ali said Floyd Patterson was his idol.
Wow.
And later in Patterson's career, Ali actually fought him and said he felt bad fighting the old Floyd Patterson, and he beat him.
Yeah.
And he just was like, have mercy, type of thing. Like, I feel bad beating my idol up. Word got out in America that there's this European champion named Ingemar Johansson.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be pretty good. Ingemar was the European champion, but Floyd Patterson was called, as we do in America,
the world.
Yeah. He was world champion.
Yeah.
And the thought was that there's no way a European guy could beat our guy. I mean, he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
So legendary Floyd Patterson was ready to take on this guy who was said to have a pretty hard right hand with amazing knockout power. So on June 26, 1959, Ingemar Johansson faced Floyd Patterson in front of 30,000 spectators at the New York Yankee Stadium.
Ooh.
It's the baseball arena.
Yeah.
I've been there for a boxing match before.
Oh, okay.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Where is it in New York? I've never been to it. I've only been
Yankee Stadium? It's like in the city, kind of, right?
Because I
think it's in the Bronx.
Oh, really?
I think it's in the Bronx.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a hot and humid evening.
Mm-hmm.
The day after a torrential downpour that drenched the arena and forced organizers to postpone the match by a day. So they're like, man, it's too much rain. We'll do it tomorrow. I watched the fight myself because I love boxing. It was a good fight, man.
Okay.
I watched it. I was like sitting there and I was like into it.
Yeah.
And you see the Swedish guy with this, he's kind of big. He's bigger than Floyd Patterson.
Yeah.
He uses height and he uses arm length, which we call reach in boxing, to keep him back. I was like, okay, he looks like a good boxer. And Floyd Patterson is cool because he has this cool hairstyle of like the front is kind of up. He's a black dude, but his hair is kind of like brushed up.
Oh,
it's got a cool little hairstyle. And you could tell watching it that his jab bothered Patterson. This long white arm.
Yeah.
And Patterson wanted to get inside. You can see him trying to like get in. He does this kind of jump move to try to get inside. So it was like good. You can see the boxing match. It was surprisingly like modern feeling, even though it was in the 1950s.
Okay.
His size, speed, and power proved to be more than Floyd expected, especially this being a European champion.
Yeah.
And Floyd wasn't really that ready. And then in I want to say the third round, Ingemar landed left hook, followed by a straight right, and put champion Floyd Patterson on his back, knocked him down, and the crowd goes nuts. They're shocked. They like love this dude. He's the world champion, and this European guy is gonna beat him.
Now this guy is American,
and
world champion.
What do we do? So Floyd gets up. He's a tough guy. Ingemar knocked him down again.
Oof.
6 more times.
Oh my God!
Knocked down Floyd Patterson 6 more times. 7 knockdowns. The referee finally stops the fight. One of the hits is probably called illegal now, but he hit him like in the back of the head. I don't know how he got back up, man. He was like turning his body, and then he hit him like right after the first knockdown. Because then they didn't really like make you go to the other side of the ring like they do now.
Oh, really? You don't interrupt the fight, really? Like
no. If somebody goes down now, they send you before they start counting. Somebody counts on the side, but the referee positions you far enough so that he
the
can
standing
count.
fighter.
Yeah, so he's like, all right, you knocked him down. You stand right here, and I'll be back. I check with the guy to see what number we're on. Now I start counting, and it's normally like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So it's like 3, 4, and then Patterson keeps getting up. But back then, he just make him stand back a little bit. Then he gets up, and now the guy's right on top of him. Punches him in the back of the head and falls down again. It was crazy.
Wow.
I recommend. I'm going to put that fight on our Patreon so people can just go in and click it if you want to see the full fight.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, so he wins now. He beat the world champion.
Yeah.
Sweden, who had turned their back on our hero, got its first and so far only world champion heavyweight in boxing.
Wow.
That day. It was in America, it was 10:47 p.m. and over 3 million Swedes listened to it live.
Wow.
A report by this guy named Lars Henrik Ottosson on the radio via Radio Luxembourg, because they didn't have
what the fuck? This was like 59?
Yeah.
Were there more than 3 million people in Sweden?
I know, right?
Probably so 5.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. And so it was 3:47 in the morning.
Wow.
If you think about it, it was 3:47 in the morning in Sweden. And Sveriges Radio didn't broadcast any professional boxing matches. So Swedes found a way to listen to this guy in America through Radio Luxembourg to listen to this fight.
Shit.
And root their guy on that they had fucking turned their backs on and called a coward because he was trying to box the same style that he beat the champion with.
Shit. 3 miljoner som lyckas. Och kolla, alla kan lyssna på Teach Me Sweden. Varför har inte vi 3 miljoner lyssare? Det är så lätt. Man behöver inte ens anstränga sig.
So Ingemar landed at Torslanda Airfield after the match. At 5:35 on Saturday, July 4th. Nearly 2,000 people came out to greet him.
Wow.
When he got there.
Sorry about the booze.
I would have been crying tears of joy and like relief. You know what I mean? That I'm supported like this.
Right.
There was also one of the Navy's helicopters with the task of flying him to Ullevi.
Yeah.
And 20,000 Gothenburg people were waiting to pay tribute to him when he got there.
Shit.
They had come to see their new champion. And the next day, he went to Gröna Lund and greeted people. He went to Stora Scenen, and they interviewed him there in front of everybody. And they crowned him, I guess give him the belt in front of an audience as large as the audience at Ullevi.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Cool.
He became Sportsman of the Year in 1959, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? And the news agency Associated Press named him the greatest sportsman of that year. He became Big Boy and honorary member of RBK in 1959. I don't know. The burger? Big Boy Burger named Floyd Patterson, however, was like, this was the first time somebody I mean, not the first time. People lose their belts, but he wanted a rematch. He's like, yo,
Yeah.
this motherfucker beat me up like this 7 times going down.
Yeah.
So a year later, June 20th, 1960, just under a year later.
Yeah.
In New York, they had a rematch. This time, the crowd was 31,000. And Patterson beat him by knockout. Now he's ready. Floyd Patterson is still one of the best boxers of all time.
Yeah.
So now he's like taking this guy seriously. Comes in. I watched that fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good fight. No surprise for Patterson. He was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. I described the knockout here. That's what I just made me. He got knocked the fuck out. Like it was like uppercut, and he drops immediately.
What, Ingo?
Ingo drops immediately, and his left leg is twitching.
Oh, shit.
And Patterson goes up to him. They count. The fight ends. He raises his hands. Then he goes and kneels down to him and like kind of holds him to like say like
finishes the job.
You die, you fucking European. Oh, that was another thing.
Knock me 7 times.
They kept calling him Johansson. In the fight, if you listen to the American guy,
Johansson, yeah.
They're like Johansson with another punch. Johansson is and then they never said Swedish.
Yeah.
It's like from Europe, Johansson is gonna and with that
fucking
voice.
Americans.
Yeah, it's so funny. And you could tell it's a tape delay, like it's not like he's watching it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny too. But yeah, it took 10 minutes before he could leave the ring. He got knocked out so bad. You know, they need medical people or whatever.
Yeah.
But everybody noticed that Floyd Patterson took the time and like,
right.
You know, this savage Negro
took
his time to make sure.
He has feelings.
This time, 63% of Swedes were listening to the fight.
Yeah.
Like they said, it was 3:30 in the morning, and 63% of the country were listening. And when he lost, they all they said the radio, the stats dropped. Everybody kind of got sad and turned it off.
Yeah. Springmark.
Yeah. Fallmark.
Yeah. Don't come to Gröna Lund to expect any ratings.
No interview this time.
Fucking loser.
They had a third match.
Mm-hmm.
March 1961. In this one, Johansson knocked Patterson down twice in the first round.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. But then 6th round, Patterson knocks him out.
This is almost like a Rocky versus what's the
Apollo Creed
situation.
Johansson continued his career with the aim of regaining that European Championship title. He figured probably, you know, after they call it a rubber match. The third match is kind of like
a rubber match.
Yeah, if you win the first time, I win the second time. Whoever wins the third time in the rubber match, because we've been bouncing back and forth.
Oh,
that person is like, it's over now. You're the best.
Okay.
So now it's kind of like Floyd's a better fighter than me. Let me focus on European Championship, and he got another chance. He wanted to get another chance at the World Championship.
Yeah.
So he got his European Championship title by defeating an English guy by knockout 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the eighth round.
Yeah.
Then he faced another English guy. He won on points after 12 rounds. But at the end of that fight, he got hit with a hard punch and was what they call saved by the bell. So if you're winning a fight or you're in the last round of the fight back then, if you get knocked down with 7 seconds left, then there's no way you can lose the fight.
Oh.
Because the bell rings, even if you're knocked the fuck out, like he was basically, he wouldn't have made the count. But the rules then meant you can be what they call saved by the bell TV show.
Yeah, I was. Why don't they call it a Sack Morris or an AC Slater?
Yeah, he got slatered. So he got he won, but the new Dagens Nyheter put out an article with a picture of him, and it says, "Wake up, Ingo, you won."
Oh.
And legend has it that he saw the headline and was like, you know what, I need to retire.
Oh,
he
really?
Never fought again. He was like humiliated by the title. Like,
I won the fight. 23 or 24?
No, this is 1963, so he's like 30, just over 30.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right.
Because he's had some back and forth fights with Patterson.
Yeah,
all of this stuff is So now he's 30, which is kind of old for a fighter. And they fought a lot back then.
Yeah.
Now they fight like once a
Had
year.
a lot of fights, yeah.
So the Ring magazine people, they sent him a championship belt. The belt read, among other things, the Ring Magazine Award World Heavyweight Championship, won by Ingemar Johansson of Sweden. And the belt is now viewed, it can be viewed at the Sports Museum in Kviberg in Gothenburg. So if you want to see his belt. If we ever go to Gothenburg together, I want to check out his belt.
So he got 2 world champions. He got one from Floyd and then one.
No, this is from Ring Magazine. It's like the people, they give rankings.
Oh, they give
like
rankings.
Award, yeah, they're like awarding like you're the man.
Okay.
1960,
okay, sorry. Yeah.
After his career, Johansson became good friends with his old rival, Floyd Patterson.
Oh, really?
Yes. Johansson, the year after Sonny Liston lost to Muhammad Ali, there's a picture of Muhammad Ali standing up, flexing his arm like that. It's a very famous picture. Have you seen it?
I think so.
You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's Muhammad Ali standing, and there's a guy on the ground. That's Sonny Liston.
Oh.
Johansson became the manager, promoter, and friend of Sonny Liston, that guy who was a big heavyweight back then.
Huh.
And he figured out a way to get that guy a contract worth $150,000 back then.
Yeah.
If he fought, one of his caveats were you have to fight in Sweden as well. So he brought a famous boxer here to fight and got him a good contract and got him a new fan base to secure him income because most of the boxing world considered him a gangster and rascal.
Sonny Liston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scandal that he faked the knockout to Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
In that fight, in that picture, it's after what they call like a phantom punch.
What the
Sonny
rumor
Liston.
is?
Yeah, if you watch the fight, I don't see it. I've watched it so many times. I've never seen a punch. And he goes down and he falls out like he never. And they think it was for mafia.
You think he lay down for money? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
That's what people say.
Huh.
So he had a bad image because of that, and Johansson tried to help him improve his image.
That's sweet.
And also help expose Sweden to high level boxing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It would be until 2004 before either of boxing's major organizations, which is WBA, WBC, and there's one now called WBO, but all of these organizations, none of them recognized a heavyweight champion until a white heavyweight champion until 2004, when the Ukrainian Vitaly Klitschko beat Lennox Lewis.
Huh.
So no white.
Shit.
He was the last white guy to win a heavyweight.
Whoa.
And from 1959
to 2004.
to 2004. No white guys until Vitaly Klitschko.
Wow.
That was a great fight if anybody wants to watch boxing. Klitschko versus Lennox Lewis.
Shit.
Ingemar Johansson completed several marathons. He started running marathons in the 80s. And then he challenged Floyd Patterson to run. So then they started competing and making who did the best marathons.
No.
And everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. Patterson, fucking Floyd Patterson. And they traveled to each other's countries every year to see each other.
Shit.
They became really good friends. And Patterson always outran him in the marathon.
Oh, really?
He is black. Let's not forget that part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You knocked him out, but it's still. And can we have something now? He went up in weight, of course, once he stopped his boxing training. And then he got with his slimming professor, Stefan the wrestler. I just thought this was cool. And he got his weight down from 145 to 110 kilos. So that was good.
Yeah.
But he fought at 95 kilos. He didn't, never got back to there. In 1983, 31 years after his spring mask scandal, the International Olympic Committee went back on their stupidity and realized that what Ingemar Johansson did in 1952 Olympics was actually good boxing.
Yeah, boom.
And they defensive boxing is better for fighters.
Yeah.
It's tactical, and is why they call it the sweet science. And they gave Ingemar Johansson his well-deserved silver medal.
Oh.
1983.
That's good. Should have been a fucking gold medal.
Yeah. Well, he lost, though.
Yeah, but...
the other guy was there. Yeah, I guess they should have let them fight.
Yeah.
Ingemar married 3 times throughout his life, had 6 children. He and the great Floyd Patterson remained friends and visited each other in their respective countries once a year, like I said. It was a strong bond that created out of a surprise fight that shocked one country and awakened pride in another. Floyd died in 2006, and Ingemar, who was beginning to suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia, commented, his public comment was, sad to hear.
Yeah, that's his way of crying.
Yeah.
Sad to hear.
Oj då. Nej.
Men usch då.
I wonder what sad to hear his actual quote was in Swedish. And like he said oj då. How do we translate oj då?
Yeah.
Skriv sad to hear. Later in life, he dealt with Alzheimer's and dementia. He died in his home on Friday, January 30th, 2009, with his son Thomas by his side. He lived to be 76 years old, and the funeral ceremony took place in Vasakyrkan, Gothenburg, on February 13th. He was buried at Västra begravningsplatsen, where he rests next to his parents. That is the story of Ingemar Johansson.
Very good. Vi måste ha fler sportöden.
Definitely. This went long. I didn't know we were going this long.
Jag gillar inte sport, men jag tycker det är jätteintressant. Alltså, livet är ju mer intressant än sporten för mig.
Yeah, definitely. I knew you'd like it.
Är det någon som har kollat in det här med Alzheimers? För det verkar vara en stående grej för boxare. Should we look into it?
Nah.
I don't know.
It's fun to see them go after each other. I think he would have died in 2008 if they would have made him fight hard like they wanted.
That's true, yeah.
If he would have fought in that Olympics as hard as they wanted him to.
Yeah.
2008.
That's a good year of his life. So, yeah.
Good year of his life,
yeah. Fan, tack så mycket.
Yeah, man. That was fun, man.
Footnote. Saved by the Bell in Swedish. You know what it is? The show?
Yeah, I know the show. But
but do you know what it's called in Swedish?
Is it called Zack Slater?
Oh, no, that would be a cool one.
Okay.
And excluding all the females, of course. But it's Pang I plugget.
What the fuck are they doing? No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was longer than normal, but it was fun.
It was fun. It was worth it.
Check it out, though, that we got some Patreon stuff out there, patreon.com/teachmesweden to be a contributor, or go and give us a review, 5-star review, and say how great we are. We appreciate that. If you got suggestions, then write us at teachmesweden@gmail.com. Write in Swedish for Erik, English for me. Thanks to someone wrote recently. I'll take care of that. I got you. And we'll catch y'all later.
Yeah.
This has been Jonathan Rollins
och Erik Broström
teaching you Sweden.
Fred!